Okay. All right, so we're going to be looking at Meyer's second fundamental device. So quick review of the first fundamental device. I'm sitting here in the upper guard, and my opponent approaches and stabs at my head. I'm going to step out to the right a little bit with my front leg. I'm going to come down, parry with the first quarter of my staff. I do not want my staff to over carry. I want to leave it kind of in front of his face, and then do a counter thrust. Let's do that just a little bit more smoothly. Just like so. Now, obviously, my opponent is at an advantage if the closer he gets. So, when he gets, extra close, oh, you're in upper guard. If he gets to here, game over, right? So in the second fundamental device, we're going to learn kind of a balancing effect to that. So we actually want to attack at our maximum range. Now, some really important subtleties about attacking. If my opponent is in middle guard and I'm in upper guard, and he's coming in, and I go, oh, right there. And I parry too soon. So I parry before he's begun his sliding thrust. Then he has leverage on his staff. So if I start parrying here, before he's thrust, then I have problems. Namely, he can change through against me because he has all of his leverage, or he can counter me with a parry. So I come here, and then he just parries and drives me down into the side. So I can't parry too early. But he also can't attack too late. So if he starts getting too close, let's call it right there, then Meyer says, when you do this parry, if you take his thumb, good job, bonus points. So if my opponent gets too close, then I go thumb hunting. I go, bam. So the window for a good, safe attack on his end, actually quite narrow. Let's switch roles so you're in upper guard. So I think here I can make a pretty decent thrust attack. So let's measure it out. Yeah, that's good. And measure a distance to my thumb. Okay. So measure that again and hold it next to my thumb. All right, so we got about 12 inches there. So step a little bit closer and measure again. Now I'm starting to have problems. So the distance between a good attack and an attack that's too close that gives up your thumb is here to here. It's roughly a 6 to 8 inch window. So this is the distance that we're looking to identify when we're approaching and we're attacking. We want to attack somewhere in that window where our thumb doesn't get immediately taken. Reasons why the aforementioned changing through and counterbeat don't work in this instance are, if I try to counterbeat his staff while he's going after my thumb, he can just kind of slide that down. My thumb is not safe. If I try to pull my thumb back to save it, sure, I can do that, but I've given up my attacking rights, and all he has to do is stop this in front of my face and drive the thrust. And if your hand is moving backwards, you are neither attacking and you're not defending very well. So that's not a very good option. Just gives him complete right of way to my face. So for this drill, you'll be in middle guard. We'll have our opponent approach, and then I'm going to say, keep approaching, and it goes to stop. And then I will reach out and see how my distance is looking see if I'm able to touch their thumb. And if I can, then good for me. And you can give us just a little bit of hinge on your upper body, not too much, don't want to be off balance. Can't do this. Then we sacrifice our leverage, then we get parried, then we get stabbed in the face. If I stop him too early, so go ahead and approach and stop, and then I go, okay, like 2 inches too far away, readjust my understanding of the range. Any questions about this? Excellent, then I'll be in the middle first, and we'll just rotate through, taking turns, practicing the drill.